Warning: the content in this podcast may help you get fit. Your discretion is advised. If you haven't been able to reach your fitness goal, it could be because you keep running into fitness scams, misconceptions, and gimmicks. Finally learn the way and get fit with the Real Results No Gimmicks podcast, hosted by body transformation experts Fitness with Flex and Fitness with FlexHERS.
Welcome, guys, to the 14th episode of the Real Results No Gimmicks podcast. We're your hosts, Fitness with Flex and
Fitness with FlexHERS, and we're body transformation experts. Many of you may know us from our clients' amazing transformations from all over the United States and all over the world. And in today's podcast, we're going to be talking about the unbelievable benefits of eating protein. Guys, this is such a special episode because a lot of people usually have a ton of questions on protein. When should you consume protein? Is protein beneficial or is it going to make me fat? Should I only drink protein when I work out? Should I not drink protein all the time? I know when I go to the gym, the juice bar is usually filled with all these fancy recipes on special proteins. Which protein should I pick? So in today's episode, we're really going to clear up what protein actually is and the benefits that it can give you. That way, you know how to implement it into your diet and how it can help you reach your fitness goals.
if you're trying to reach your fitness goal, protein is definitely a macronutrient that you need to have on a daily basis. It doesn't matter if you're trying to lose body fat, if you're trying to build muscle, if you're trying to do both. It really doesn't matter. Protein is necessary. And even if you're not trying to reach a fitness goal, just for everyday bodily functions to feel good, you need to have the right amount of protein. Now, the thing with protein is that unlike fat and carbohydrates, your body doesn't have a reservoir for it. There's no place where your body could just hold on to protein for when you need it. You know, if you're overweight and you have body fat, your body can always take some of the fat that you have. Your body also has glycogen stores that store carbohydrates and stuff like that for energy, but there's really nothing for the protein. This is why you need it every single day. Of course, your body, if you're not having protein and it needs protein, it could always break down your muscle tissue, turn that into amino acids or whatever it is, but the last thing you want is for your body to start breaking down muscle mass. That's something that you really, really do not want. Now, protein is important for every cell in the body. The protein is used to repair tissue, enzymes, to make hormones, a whole bunch of different body chemicals as well. Protein is actually so important that it helps you with the building blocks of bones, muscle, cartilage, skin, hair, blood. So basically, it's essential for everything that your body does.
This is so important for all you females out there that are listening to this. This is such a common issue that we have when it comes to strong hair, elastic skin, healthy looking hair. A lot of people like to go to the pharmacy and get a common supplement like biotin to try to help them achieve that goal of getting thicker hair, more fuller hair, stronger nails, and things like that. But a supplement like biotin is not really going to work if it's not in conjunction with having enough amount of protein in your diet. So maybe you should give yourself a little protein boost in your diet along with the biotin, and then that will help you or impact you a lot more. It's funny that your body goes into this catabolic state when you don't have enough protein, especially if you're going to the gym, because it's kind of like a double negative. You're going to go to the gym, you're breaking down all this muscle, and your goal is to build more muscle, to get stronger. But since you don't have any protein to help you build that, then you're kind of just taking away from the little that you do have, and you're not going to be able to make any gains.
Yeah, instead of making gains, you're just really deteriorating your body. You're going to lose muscle mass, you're going to lose bone mass, cartilage.
Yeah, you're wasting your energy, your immune system's going to drop, your body's just going to require so many more nutrients to be able to rebuild. So if you don't have your protein in check, please look at your diet, and it'll make a big difference trying to get to your fitness goal.
Now, if you guys are not having enough protein in your diet, you will feel some symptoms. So I'm going to read you guys a couple of symptoms, and if you're feeling this, then you
could be low. You could be low.
You could be low on the protein. So it'll give you if you're not having enough protein, you'll have a sluggish metabolism. You'll have trouble losing weight. You won't be able to build muscle mass. Your energy levels are going to be low. You're going to be fatigued all the time. You're going to have poor concentration. You're not going to be able to learn. You're going to have mood swings. Muscle, bone, joint pain. You're not even going to heal properly. You might just get a paper cut and that might take forever to heal because you're not giving yourself protein in order to rebuild the new skin.
Yes,
And
remember,
along
it
with,
needs it.
of course, and on top of that, protein is what helps build your immune system. So if you're constantly sick, more than likely you're not having enough protein in your diet.
And now, quick reminder, it's not just protein. We're not here telling you, oh, go home every day and have 5 steaks, throughout the day just by itself because it's protein. It's protein along with other nutrients that you need in order for you to, get that help, get those benefits.
Yeah, in episode 12, we were talking about the essential fats that you need. Now we're talking about the protein. In the future, we'll make an episode on carbohydrates and why you need them or why you might not need them. But protein is definitely something that you do need in your body on a daily basis.
My mother, anybody that knows me knows that my mother has had lupus already for, I think, close to like 10 years, maybe even more. And a lot of these doctors really don't focus on your nourishment, on your nutrition. What is it that you're eating? And my mother, for like 5 years of her life or 6, 7 years of her life while I was a child, wasn't really paying attention to her nutrition, wasn't incorporating protein along with other nutrients she's supposed to have. And she was always getting sick. She was always getting lupus crisis, always going to the hospital, never healing. Her joints were all messed up. And as soon as I started telling her about protein and how beneficial it was, and she started to incorporate into her diet, it was like a 360. She can walk better. She has higher energy levels. Her immune system is better. When she gets sick, it doesn't hit her as hard. So just in general, the fact that she just added that to her nutrition made a whole lot of a difference.
Yeah, like you were saying before, we're not telling you to have 500 grams of protein a day. Again, everyone's different. Everyone's need is a little bit different. Even if you're not training, you're not trying to lose weight, whatever it is, you need a certain amount of protein daily. Now, if you're going to be exercising, you're weight training, you're trying to build muscle, you're trying to burn body fat, whatever it is, you're going to require more protein than the average person that's just sitting on the couch watching TV. But in both cases, you're still going to need protein. Now, how much protein do you need? That all depends on the individual, their activity. That's why all the programs that we do are customized, because not everyone has the same goal and not everyone has the same body type. Now, stay tuned, guys. When we come back, we're going to be giving you more unbelievable benefits of having protein, and also what are some good sources of protein that you should be having on a daily basis. Stay tuned.
Learn the truth about fitness and start on the right path towards reaching your fitness goals today by subscribing to the Fitness with Flex YouTube channel. Learn great tips on diet, exercise, healthy recipes, and also check out our client challenges and interviews. And don't forget to visit FitnessWithFlex.com.
Another benefit that protein has is that it helps you manage your weight because it helps you feel full and satisfied when you're consuming it, a lot more than like carbohydrates and fats. For example, if you go to the movie theaters and you get a huge bag of popcorn, I'm pretty sure you can probably finish that popcorn by the time the movie's over.
Not only that, you're probably gonna have some chocolate bars,
exactly,
ice cream, soda, on
nachos
top of all
and
of that.
dip, all that good stuff. But let's say that for this instance, instead of popcorn being in that bag, you have a bag full of just steak. I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to finish all that steak by the time your movie's over.
You could probably finish one, or you're going to finish two.
Yeah.
When have you ever heard of someone having like 10 steaks, having 10 cans of tuna, having 30 eggs?
Watching a movie.
Or anything. It's just very, very hard to overeat on protein because it just makes you so full and satisfied.
Yeah, and then so since you're gonna be satisfied, it's gonna prevent you from overeating and snacking, and so you're not gonna be able to gain unwanted body fat if you're not doing those things. On top of all that, when you're eating protein, believe it or not, you're actually burning calories because your body goes into a state of thermogenesis. So when you're eating the protein, the body requires more energy to be able to break it down. which is pretty cool because you're literally only burning calories while you're eating. So you don't have to work out for them to burn off.
Yeah, this is one of the tips that we had on a past episode, which is how to lose weight without actually exercising. There's a lot of clients that we've trained that for some reason or another, maybe they were injured or whatever, couldn't really exercise at the very beginning, and they still lost weight just by having the proper foods. And one of them were definitely protein.
Of course. And also, protein supports healthy muscle building and it helps you maintain your muscle mass. And that's very, very important because the more muscle mass you have, the more calories you can burn, which means that you're going to be able to burn off that unwanted body fat faster.
A lot of people, they start exercising and all this stuff and they're not having enough protein. And the thing is that when you're losing weight, not only are you going to lose fat, but you're also going to lose some muscle mass. So the goal is to only lose fat and minimize as much as possible muscle mass loss. So when you have a diet increased in more protein, that's going to help you in not losing that much muscle mass as you're losing body fat. Like you were saying, the more muscle you have, it's going to be better because you're going to burn more calories in the long run without having to put in that much more work.
For those of you that don't know what happens if you go to the gym and don't have any protein at all, that usually reflects on your body pretty fast and you're going to start looking pretty flabby and pretty like saggy and your skin's not going to be tight. That's usually very common in like people that have gotten like the gastric bypass and are not consuming enough protein in their diet. They go into this catabolic state, start losing a whole bunch of muscle mass, their nails start getting thin, even their hair sometimes they start losing their hair because they don't have that nutrient that's so essential.
Another great benefit of having protein is that it actually helps improve your mood. There's certain amino acids that come from protein foods that are necessary in order to balance out our hormones naturally. So if we're not getting the proper amino acids, we won't be able to create certain hormones like dopamine or serotonin, which is necessary in order to keep us calm and to keep us in a more positive outlook. So if you're feeling a little bit of anxiety or maybe some depression, you just might need to have a little bit more protein. Apart from that, protein is very, very necessary just for a cognitive function. If you're not having enough protein, you won't be able to learn properly. Your coordination is going to be off. So protein is just very, very important in general, just for mood and also for learning ability.
I think that this one benefit is, especially in my opinion, especially important for people who have kids. If your kid isn't following like a structured diet and his or her diet is filled with like refined sugars, it's going to be really, really hard for them to really take out the full benefit, especially when they go to school. They're not going to be able to sit and learn to their best potential. I know that a lot of us can relate when we have a lot of sugar. It can either go both ways. We can either be extremely, extremely hyper, or we can go into a food coma and want to fall asleep, which in my opinion is what I see happening with most kids. So if you do have kids, really do pay attention to their nutrition because it does play a major, major role.
Yeah, so if your kids are not getting good grades, you might want to blame yourself for not cooking enough protein for them.
Wouldn't they love that? All right, and with that said, we have one more benefit, and that benefit is that it slows aging and promotes longevity. I know, ladies, you guys are out there like screaming your heads off, like, what? This is what we all look for all the time. Instead of going into your pharmacy and trying to find all these creams and stuff to help you preserve your youth, you might want to up your protein intake. So what protein does is that it helps you synthesize glutathione, and glutathione sometimes is referred as the master antioxidant because glutathione is stored within our own cells and it helps us to detox or reduce the carcinogen that we get that eventually makes us age. So this is extremely, extremely important. Along with that, it helps us support strong ligaments, strong joints, strong bones, and it's also going to prevent us from eventually developing osteoporosis as we age. And it's going to help us maintain our muscle mass because as you all know, when we start to age, we start to like get shorter, we start to cripple up more, we start to fold and bend and get stiff. But by consuming protein, we're going to try our best to negate that effect as we age.
Yeah, and protein also helps you with the skin, so that might help you with less wrinkles and stuff like that. Just everything's gonna slow down the aging process. If you're active and you have muscle mass and you're mobile and you're having enough protein, you're going to look younger, and your longevity is gonna be there for a very, very long time, despite of your age. You could be 90 years old. There's a lot of people. There's a few people that I know that are like in their 90s and stuff, and they're still walking around. They're upright. They're doing everything that they pretty much want to do. So just because you're getting old doesn't mean that you have to be crippled, walk around with a cane, or be in a wheelchair. That's really a myth. That's just really happening because, frankly, you're not taking care of your body. You're not exercising.
Like this cool quote or meme that I saw on Instagram that says, don't let your age define you. Let your body define who you are, and let your health define who you are. Just because you're 60 years old, there's not a standard as to how you're supposed to be when you're 60 years old. You're in control of that. Although you're going to age, eventually that's a process of life, does not mean that it has to be a slow, agonizing process. Like, you can try your best to stay mobile, stay active, and stay as healthy as possible. So unfortunately, when your time comes, it is not a dreadful experience.
Exactly, and this is one of the reasons why I started fitness. Apart from the other benefits, is that I really do want to slow my aging and my longevity. There's a lot of people out there that might think I'm 19, 20. I'm 32 right now.
You wish.
Okay, so the last thing that we're going to be talking about today is where should you be getting your protein from? Now, from our opinion and from also our experience in training a lot of different people from all over the world and stuff, we consider that animal protein is better than vegetable protein. Now, we're not saying that you shouldn't have vegetables. You do need vegetables, but I wouldn't be having vegetables in order to get my protein. My protein will mostly come from animal sources: eggs, chicken, turkey, fish, beef, pork, lamb. Anything that's an animal is going to have a good amount of protein, and is also going to have a complete amino acid profile. There's 20 different amino acids, and out of those 20, there's 9 that are essential. That means that your body cannot create it on its own, so you need to have it from food. The thing with vegetable protein is that the amino acid profiles sometimes are incomplete in most vegetables, which means that a lot of those essential amino acids are not going to be completely there. So people that are vegans or vegetarians sometimes have a hard time building muscle, losing fat, because they have to get all these amino acids from a whole bunch of different vegetables. So it pretty much becomes a job where you gotta constantly be eating these different sources, buying these different types of vegetables in order to get all the amino acids possible. When you're eating animal protein, you don't really have to worry about that. If I eat a piece of chicken, I already know I'm getting all the amino acids that I need there. If I eat a piece of steak, I already know all 20 amino acids are going to be there. Now, if I'm eating asparagus and spinach, more than likely all the amino acids won't be there. So now I have to figure out which ones are missing and where do I have to get them from. So it makes things a little bit harder if you are a vegan or vegetarian. Now, that doesn't mean you can't reach your goal. I'm just saying it's going to make it a little bit harder.
Yes, we're not trying to demonize people who are vegetarian or who are vegan. That's definitely your choice, your option. We're just telling you that when you are a vegan or when you are a vegetarian, you just have to put in a little of more effort to try to figure out if you are completing these 20 amino acids when you're eating.
Well, a lot effort. I would
A
say
lot. Not a little,
Yeah.
but a lot. But hey, look, if that's what you love to do and that's what you want to spend your time doing, then go all for it. We're nobody to tell you not to be vegan or not to be vegetarian. Just really make sure that you're having the proper nutrients and you're not going on a carb spree and just having all this refined sugar because you're not having any protein. All right, guys, so with that said, we have concluded our episode on protein. We hope that we answered all your questions on protein, the misconceptions, protein's gonna make me fat, protein this, protein that. As you guys can all see, protein is extremely beneficial, whether you're old, whether you're a kid, whether you're young, and it's really gonna help you stay young. So definitely try to incorporate it as much as you can into your diet, and we will see you guys next time. Stay tuned.
Take care, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Real Results No Gimmicks podcast. We really appreciate it. And if you like what you just heard, please feel free to share our episodes with your friends and visit our website, www.fitnesswithflex.com.